Okay guys, Canada64 here, and today I'm going to be doing, what if Deku was the Phantom Ruby? You're probably asking, what do you mean? How would Deku become the Phantom Ruby? Okay, this is how it's going to start. We start off with, after the events of Sonic Forces, after Sonic, classic Sonic and the custom character defeated Eggman. But something happened. After when Eggman was defeated, he escaped. But because what happened, Eggman's machine kinda just kinda did something to the Ruby, to the Phantom Ruby. And not just that, from Mania, right when Classic Eggman and after when Super Sonic defeated Classic Eggman and the leader of the hardboard heavies, the Phantom Ruby was draining energy from the Chaos Symbols. And by also doing that, it also, the, basically what I'm trying to say is, both of the Phantom Rubies get into null space and form into one. The power is catastrophic. I can't say that word for some reason, but hey, whatever. Both of the Phantom Rubies form into one and try to create a form of itself. Every time it does, the form becomes staticky and it becomes like it's fading in and out of its existence. And without realizing it, it kind of created a dimensional wormhole. And it went in and it tries to find a place where it could be, where it can find something. But at the same time, a woman with green hair finds out she is pregnant. And when Sashi finds out, he is happy. He's joyed. But at the same time, at that night, the ruby, with its faded out and in body, it's saying, I need a body. I need a body. And the ruby sinks into Inko's stomach without anyone knowing, forming into the ruby puts itself into Izuku, making Izuku a ruby, making Izuku human, but not human at the same time. It's very strange. But through Inko's pregnancy, she has had weird feelings in her stomach. Every time when this weird reddish aura surrounding her, this like weird staticky noise with this weird aura surrounding her, where it's like fading in and out, she would see glimpses of a weird time, about finding out something which she does not know, seeing the dream what she wants, her traveling around the world, finding out her son would have a great quirk. That would be going on for 5 months, but not just that, she would also be having pains, because the Phantom Ruby is so strong, Inko cannot handle that much energy destroying her body from the inside. The Phantom Ruby, what it did to Infinite, making him lose it, it's kind of doing the same thing. Inko is fading in and out, and Asashi and Inko has had enough. They go to the doctor and find out whatever is inside of her, it's killing her. It's killing her on a metaphysical level. If she doesn't take that child out, she will die. And whatever is in her, that much power would blast out, and who knows what would happen. So Inko, has to get, young Izuku out. And they had to put him in one of those, what's it called? An incubator. Yeah, that's what it's called, an incubator. They had to put him in that, but for some reason, when Inko, is resting, and they've been in there for a couple of weeks, ever since Izuku got out, these weird, strange events have been happening. Izuku, everything around him would have this weird staticky, would have this weird noise going all around. Everything would become distorted. Everything around Izuku would become extorted, and the doctors don't know what's going on. They start doing a test. They find out whatever this kid is, this kid has the doctors find out this kid's power is supposedly quirk, but on the charts it doesn't say it's a quirk. They go to Inko and Asashi, and the doctor explains their son doesn't have a quirk, but for some reason, whatever he is, it's not human. Well, not completely. The level on that, whatever their son is, it's the power coming from him. He can basically destroy the world. He can manipulate this whole universe. He could create his own reality. He can destroy the reality. He can create something out of nothing and throw it at something, and it could kill them. It's like, the doctor explained, it's like he could create something what's not real and make it hurt. Asashi's like, how is that possible? That quirk, that's... The doctor's, no, it's not a quirk. That kid, we don't know what it is. We did our charts. Everything. It says it's not a quirk. The quirk gene is not in your son at all. The doctor's like, no, Asashi's like, what? Inko was shocked. Her son has that much power in the wrong hand. He could destroy the world if his power gets out of hand. And of course, someone finds out about this. A quirk doctor finds out. A psychotic man finds out about this kid reading the documents. Has a smile on his face. Calls someone. He's like, Master, I think I just found a quirk. What would be in your interest? The man on the other side of the phone says, what do you mean? Master, this boy's power, it can bend reality as we know it. This kid is like a phantom. This kid is so this kid's what he calls quirk, because he doesn't know. This kid's quirk, it can basically, anything what's not real, he can make it real and hurt as hell. Basically, basically what the Phantom Ruby can do, how the Ruby can make things that are not real, make it hurt. It's not real, but it would still hurt. For some reason, I don't get how that works. It's weird in Sonic Forces. It's kind of weird how something was not real, but it hurts. So it's real, but it's not real. It's kind of complicated. And also, yes, you should all know who this is. All for One hears about this quirk. He thinks by using this, he would be unstoppable. But at the same time, the doctors call heroes. They call Nezu. Nezu's like, oh my, are you sure this kid would be that powerful? I better call someone. Nezu, after hearing about what Izuku could, what his power is, what he could do, he's a freaking baby, and he was basically creating so much energy. No one can go in that room without their body twisting, forming, feeling like a headache. They couldn't stand the pressure what this baby was just emitting from his body. But of course, after Nezu calls someone, Toshi's like, what? If he finds out, yes, Toshi, I know. If he finds out about the child and he takes his quirk, it will be terrible. But All Might says, I'll be on my way. And yeah. So after that day, a couple weeks have passed, and All Might is getting, I won't say a day has passed, not a couple weeks, a day has passed, and the heroes are just guarding the child. They don't know what this kid is. And of course, Endeavor is like, well, here, all kinds of heroes are just guarding the Midoriya's, and I'm gonna say it's Endeavor's turn. He's like, why do we have to guard a child? He's weak. And of course, I'm gonna say, the dragon hero, Iruku, I think that's her name, I can't remember what her name is. The dragon hero, she's like, wow, Endeavor, the kid's not weak. Even I went into that room, and I couldn't even be in there for even a second without everything in my body feeling distorted, feeling like I was being broke down, feeling like I was seeing illusions. It was terrible. It was like, sure. And of course, right when Endeavor went in there, he saw something. The thing what he always wanted. Because we all know the fantasy movie can make people see the thing what they wanted the most. He sees him as the number one hero. His fantasy becoming true, and like that, in an instant, it vanished. Oh, he's like, what? He looked at the child, he's like, that kid can make people see it. Right? And of course, he tried to freaking touch the child, and the doctor was like, wait, Endeavor, don't. Right when he was so close to the child, he cried, and this weird energy blasted from Izuku. Basically, everything becomes staticky. Everything was deforming. Everything was becoming staticky. All the heroes, everyone in that hospital couldn't take it. They would feel like their body was being destroyed. They felt like they couldn't take the pain. And of course, Inko grabbed her child, trying to calm her down, even if the pain was hurting her. She wanted to calm her child down. It worked. She put her child back in the incubator, and then she passed out of all that trauma was going into her head, all that pain, her body fading in and out. That everyone there was just like, oh my god. But of course, after when that happened, something blasts through the door. A man in a suit with white hair and red eye. Just basically taking down heroes like it was nothing. Nezu grabbed his phone, called All Might, told him to hurry up. He is here. He says, and of course, Asashi got in the way of All For One. He's like, "You're not going after my child, you villain. Oh, your child's quirk is so amazing. I would just take it for myself." Slaps, basically, bitch slaps, Asashi through a wall like it was nothing. Asashi basically freaking bloodied. And he was hurt badly. Inko grabbed, but of course she was still weak, but she was barely clinging on to life. I mean, not life, but she was barely clinging on to consciousness. She grabbed All For One by his foot, trying to slow him down, and he grabbed Izuku. He grabbed little Izuku. He's like, "Wow, this little child is so powerful, but also so small." Right when he touched Izuku, All Might got there and was like, "No," but something happened. Right when All Might was rushing to punched All For One, Izuku was crying. Everyone there was in mute pain. There was these weird blocks, these weird illusion-y blocks hitting everyone. Then out of nowhere, Izuku was fading in and out, crying. The crying would not stop. Everyone was in pain until Izuku faded out of nowhere. Inko saw her son just vanished. She saw her son just gone. She was like, "Izuku, baby, where are you? Don't do this to mommy. Izuku. Basically, All For One would escape. All Might would he killed. And of course, All Might thinks he took his quirk. By taking his quirk, he probably killed him. He's like, Inka was bawling her eyes out. Sashi woke up and he sees Inko crying, and he's like, "Where's my son?" And all the heroes are just looking down. He falls to his knees. His eyes are in despair. His eyes are lifeless. He's like, "No. And they become despair. They become sad. And also, yeah, this is where I'm gonna end. Wait, before I do that, All Might swears he's going to kill All For One. Because that child was so powerful. Even All Might felt helpless. Couldn't even stand the pain. It felt like his body was fading out. It felt like his body would be destroyed or something, but it wasn't at the same time. And he thinks All For One has that power now. And of course, so that's where I end off. But also, this is where I'm going to end off, guys. Also, another thing. One thing I do gotta say. Izuku was born a year earlier. Yeah, Izuku was born 1 year earlier. That's all I gotta say. So, I hope y'all enjoy this what if. And there might be another one. The power of the Phantom Ruby is infinite.